navigation, and you can figure out, map yourself around that accident. Save yourself some time, right? So when the Most High put us above all people, right, we're supposed to be a seer so that we can see all around. We can see all the danger zones. We can see all the trouble spots, right? We can see the pots in the road, right? We can see the broken down car, right? We can see the debris that's on the highway, and we can navigate around that, right? So when the Most High put us over the people, he put us there so we can see danger. We can see judgment. We can see disease. We can see death. We can see shortages, famine, pestilence. Why? Because Yah wants to put us above the people so we can see, right, what's coming. And when you are put over the people, you got to be connected to Yah so you can see. That's what the Most High called. The whole nation was called to be prophets. We covered that in a previous lesson. A prophet is a seer, one that the Most High has raised up, who he has anointed for you to be able to see what's coming down the pike. Right? So he says, I will make you a treasure unto me above all people, for the earth is mine. And you shall be a kingdom of priests, right? A Kohen, that's the word in Hebrew. Priest is Kohen, right? So if you are a kingdom of priests, you are Kohanim. That's plural. Im, like Morim means plural. One more is a teacher. Morim is a group of teachers, right? Kohanim is a multitude of priests, right? So Yah called you to the priesthood, right? And a Kodesh nation, or a set apart nation. These are the words which you shall speak to the children of Yasharal. All right. So now let's tie it all together here. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some verses here. You can write these down. And while I'm thinking about it, please share. Let some people know we're on. We had a little technical difficulty. Please share on your social media platforms. Let people know we're on. And as a matter of fact, brother Yosef, and be more. If he's tuned in, and let the brother know I didn't get the brother's name, but a brother he want me to be connected to. So if you're tuned in, if you're watching us on Facebook, because we stream on Facebook as well, say Baruch Shabbat to you, and feel free to ask any questions. I will make myself available at the end of the lesson to answer any question that's not relevant to the subject. Okay. And if I can answer the question, I will do so. All right. So no question is irrelevant. But right now, while the lesson is going on, we're going to ask questions irrelevant to the lesson. All right. Is that all right? You know what? It's amazing how people come in and throw shots, right? Somebody named Casimir Kennedy. I don't know where the labels come from and all of that, but if you stick around, you'll learn something. So that's our desire, is to not get off into a war with words, right? We're not excluding anybody from being a part of the covenant. So don't mistake us for another people. Okay. So I admonish you to stick around. And at the end, if you have any questions for me, if you stay in the room and you stick around, you can ask questions and we'll deal with that. In the near future, I'm learning how to operate this computer, so we'll be able to bring people on a live stream. Okay. So anybody that have any questions or they wanted to debate, I'm open to debate. Right. So so in the near future we'll avail ourselves for that. So in the meantime, brother Casimir Kennedy, please feel free to hang in to the end of the lesson. If you got something on your chest you want to get off your chest, we'll give you an opportunity to do so. All right. Now, we're going to go to Numbers real quick. And just to kind of close out the end of, matter of fact, let's do this here. We're going to start right here. Exodus 27, Exodus chapter 27. And let's start at verse 21. Exodus chapter 27, that's Shemot, chapter 27 and verse 21. All right. Let's start at verse 20. Okay, verse 20. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring thee pure olive oil beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. And in the tabernacle, is that where I want to be? Okay. And in the tabernacle of the congregation with the veil, which is before, please pardon me because I think the verses, I think my video is kind of covering up the verse. Let me see if I can switch this real quick. Okay, there we go. Let's make this a little bigger. Let's go side by side. How about that? Okay. Just for today, we'll get it straight. So what I say, 27 and 21. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aharon and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before Yah. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. Now, just so you can comprehend why that is, right? Our opening scripture we read was when the Most High called the nation of Israel out of Egypt, it was his precept for them not to need the sons of Aaron, and later on the Levites, we're going to show you in a minute, to offer sacrifice for the nation, because the nation was supposed to be a nation of priests. That's what the new covenant is all about. Christianity has twisted it. The new covenant is not something brand new. It is a renewal to where the Most High fulfilled Exodus chapter 19, that he told the nation of Yasharal that he would make them a kingdom of priests. When you tie that together with the promise that he made to Abraham, that he would be the father of many nations, that it would be one seed, not many. In other words, the promise he made to Abraham, everybody that is a part of that promise have to do it exactly the way the Most High gave it to Abraham. Anything different than that is not truth. It is a imitation covenant. Okay. So with that said, now, because the children of Israel rejected the covenant in Exodus 20, the covenant of being a kingdom of priests, and they told Moshe, you speak to us and we'll hear you. Then we had the sons of Aharon, and later on the sons of Levi. Okay. Now, with that said, let's go to Exodus chapter 28, moving along. Write it down in your notes. Exodus chapter 28 and verse number 1. It says, and take thou unto thee Aharon thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Yasharal, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. Aharon, Nadab, and Abihu, right? El-Azar and Ithamar, sons of Aharon. So we can see that these are the sons of Aharon first, who were first called to the priesthood after the rejection of the whole nation of being priesthood, that they were called to be priesthood to the world. Israel was not supposed to need any priest for them. But since Israel rejected the priesthood, now there had to be a new law established, right? A new covenant established that was not according to the covenant, the promise that he made to the whole nation to be the kingdom of priests. Now I'm going to have to establish a new law that's going to have priests for the people that's supposed to be priests. That's like the preacher needing a preacher. You the pastor of the church, but you need somebody to pastor you. Something's wrong with that picture. You have to take on your responsibility, right? So the protocol is to be trained under somebody, and we're going to show you in this lesson that even Moshe was trained, because he didn't just come out of his mother's womb knowing the law, statutes, and commandments. He had to be trained by somebody who wasn't even an Israelite. We're going to show you that in this lesson. Stay tuned. Moshe was trained and taught by somebody who was not an Israelite, and he taught Moshe how to keep the feast days, how to offer sacrifices, how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. The law, statutes, and commandments did not start in Mount Sinai. We're going to show it to you. It was perpetual. It started with the first man. We're going to show it to you in this book, right? So that's Exodus chapter 27, right? Now we're going to show you, we're going to go to Numbers chapter 3, and we're going to show you the Levites, right? Numbers chapter 3, this is the second half of last week's lesson we didn't get to, the priesthood part, all right? So, Numbers chapter 3, verse 6, right? Starting at verse 6. Start at verse 5. And Yah spoke to Moshe, saying, bring the tribe of Levi or Levi near and present them before Aharon the priest, that they may minister unto him. And they shall keep his charge and the charge of the whole congregation before the tabernacle of the congregation to do the service of the tabernacle. Right? Verse 8. And they shall keep all the instruments of the tabernacle of the congregation and charge of the children of Yasharal to do the service of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites unto Aharon and to his sons. They are wholly given unto him out of the children of Israel. Okay? Verse 10. And thou shalt appoint Aharon and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest's office. And the stranger that comes nigh shall be put to death. That's why people say, brother, how can you call yourself a priest? You're not from Levi. You're not from Aharon. Hey, I comprehend the precept. right? We're going to show it to you. We're going to explain it to you. When we finish today, you're not going to have no doubts in your mind about you've been called to the priesthood. That's what Yah always wanted with his servants, to be in the priesthood. Every last one. As I said, Lottie, Dottie, and everybody, right? All right, now, so let's continue. Let's continue. Thou shalt appoint, verse 10 again, Aharon and his sons, and they shall wait on their priest office, and the stranger that come nigh shall be put to death. And Yah spoke to Moshe and said, and I, behold, I have taken the Levites, from among men, from among the children of Israel, instead of all the firstborn that opened the matrix among the children of Yasharal. Therefore, the Levites shall be mine. See how the Most High, he made that promise to the whole nation in Exodus 19. If you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, right, I will make you a peculiar treasure, right? That's what he wanted to do. We didn't want it. So now we see now where the Most High chose from among Israel the sons of Aharon, and now the sons of Levi, because we didn't want it. We ran from it. We were scared. We were scared, right? Yah calling us. He wants you to suit up, put on your armor, be strong in Yah, right? No, we need a preacher. That's your problem. You need a preacher. You're supposed to be the preacher. Therefore, the Levites shall be mine. Verse 13, all right? Because all the firstborn are mine. For on the day that I smote all the firstborn in the land of Mizraim, I set apart unto me all the firstborn in Israel, both man and beast. Mine shall they be. I am Yah. Okay, and Yah spoke, verse 14, unto Moshe in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, number the children of Levi after their house of the fathers by their family, every male from a month old and upward shalt thou number them. Now stop for a second. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a dumb question. Why weren't the women called to the priesthood in this instance? That's the question number one. Question number two is, when the Most High in Exodus 19, when he made the appeal to Israel, did he include the women in that? Okay, I'm gonna give you the answer. First answer, the women were not included in the sons because the specific instruction was that they were to be sons. Right? So women were not included because women were not supposed to be under that new covenant that came 439 years later. Now, in the precept, women and children were included in the number of priesthood. So that's a better covenant than having to have women excluded from priesthood under Aharon and Levi. Wouldn't you say? Now, I can connect the dots there. When Shaul caught it, he said, there is neither male or female, Yahudim or Greek, right? But all of one. He comprehended that that's the precept. Y'all don't care about whether you're male or female, whether you are homeborn or whether you are a foreigner. If you embrace the covenant of Yah, you're included in the number of priesthood. But you got to do it the way he prescribed it. You can't make up your own prescription of how you can be under the covenant. You got to do Yah's way, right? All right. Now, with that said, so let's continue. All right. Let me do something real quick. Hold on a second. Can I do it this way? I think I can. There we go. Let's do this here. I'm going to